Hello everyone, and welcome to my UK Royal Family News channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. While Scotland benefits financially from the Crown Estate, King Charles is dealt a multi-million-dollar hit. Scotland currently controls the earnings from the Crown Estate wind farms, which has left the King and the Treasury with a windfall of £60 million. As Scotland holds on to surging earnings from wind turbines on Crown-owned lands, the King and the Treasury have taken a multi-million-dollar hit. Over a 5-year period, its devolved government profited from the Crown Estate Scotland to the tune of £60 million. With the potential for billions of pounds in investments in floating offshore wind farms, the estate and the SNP-led administration are in for an even greater profit. However, there are presently no intentions for the London Treasury to increase the £6 million it now deducts from overall financing to reflect the transfer of Crown Estate income to the Holyrood administration. The King owns the Crown Estate, but they have no authority over it. Since 1760, each monarch has given up their share of the income in exchange for a gift from the public coffers. The Crown Estate Scotland profit in the final year before devolution was charged at £6 million, but the most recent numbers available show that the amount increased to £15.7 million in 2021 to 2022. The Crown Estate Scotland's worth, which includes the seabed out to 12 nautical miles and half of the shoreline, increased by 25% to £568.2 million last year. Profits are intended to have an impact on how the royal family is supported. The Crown Estate in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland pays the monarch an amount equal to 25% of its profits. The Scottish profits were also included up to 2017. Crown Estate Scotland's £60 million in profits since then would have increased the monarch's payout by £15 million. When Sir Alan Reid, the then Queen's Keeper of the Privy Purse, forewarned that the Scottish revenues would no longer be included in the computation, the possibility of money being lost sparked controversy in 2015. The concerns went unheeded, and Sir Alan claimed he trusted Nicola Sturgeon's guarantees that the overall sovereign grant wouldn't be reduced as a result of the Crown Estate's devolution. However, the Scottish gains were not taken into account when calculating. Treasury officials have been keen to remind out that because the sovereign grant is paid out of the general tax revenue from the Consolidated Fund, Scottish taxpayers still support the monarchy, just like the rest of the UK. According to a spokeswoman, Scottish taxpayers make a fair contribution because they pay into the Consolidated Fund through ordinary taxation. The current keeper of the Privy Purse, Sir Michael Stevens, and the 3 royal trustees of the sovereign grant, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, Chancellor Jeremy Hunt, and Treasury officials, are reviewing the financing mechanism. In order to prevent the monarch from profiting from a big increase in offshore wind earnings, a new formula is not planned to be connected to a higher percentage of the profits in the rest of the UK and does not plan to incorporate Crown Estate Scotland profits. The nation should receive the earnings the King has declared, rather than him. If this year's profits from the Crown Estate Scotland were added to the sovereign grant, which is presently £86.3 million, it would increase by £3.2 million. Yesterday, the King visited the Jubilee Gates, which have just been put in place at Edinburgh's Palace of Holyrood House to commemorate his late mother's 70 years as monarch. A plaque commemorating the building of the gates was unveiled by Charles and Queen Camilla as a tribute to the late Queen and a gift from the ceremonial bodyguards known as the High Constables of Holyrood House. Tribute. A book of old photos was also given to the King, who indicated he would immediately look over them. The organization's moderator, Roderick Urquhart, declared that they were thrilled with the gates since they will make it simpler for people to enter the area around Holyrood Abbey. They include heraldic emblems from each of the UK's 4 nationalities. At the Scottish Coronation, King Charles displays impatience with Camilla and moment of tension. A body language specialist exclusively revealed to Express.co.uk that King Charles was in husband mode today at his royal ceremony in Edinburgh's St Giles Cathedral. Today in Scotland, a national service of thanksgiving and dedication was observed by King Charles II and Queen Camilla. When the King and Queen arrived at St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh, there were loud protests and cries of "Not my king" from the throng. However, Judy James, a body language specialist who spoke exclusively to Express.co.uk, said that King Charles had no visible effect on this. In contrast to the coronation, which only included the king, this more private service featured Camilla, Kate, William, and Charles in virtually equal standing. This implied a message of continuity and the monarchy's enduring status. Additionally, by limiting the service to just these four royal stars, it became more of a family affair. If the booing affected the king and queen, the body language expert revealed why. According to Judy, Charles's facial expression was unaffected by the jeers and chants, but he did care more over Camilla, as though eager to get her inside the event and seated. At his London coronation, he had simply appeared as king, but here he was also in husband mode, turning to see Camilla safely from the car, with some impatient hand-flicking gestures showing moments of tension. Judy stated why the king's rare act of kindness to his wife of 18 years was. She said, "He rarely sees checking Camilla into and out of the cars they are using as part of his duties, so this checking trait might just have been protective, thanks to the chanting." Today, Queen Camilla wore a long, white dress created by Bruce Oldfield and looked stunning. She also wore the thistle robe and cap, complete with star and collar, that belonged to the late Queen Elizabeth. Today was the King Charles II and Queen Camilla's national thanksgiving and dedication service. The honours, the Scottish crown jewels, were also delivered to the new king as part of this. The ceremony was modeled after a similar one that was held at St Giles Cathedral to commemorate Queen Elizabeth II's coronation 70 years earlier. The Stone of Destiny, on which ancient Scottish kings were crowned, was present in the cathedral, unlike the 1953 service. As Charles is criticized, the king's Scottish coronation is slammed as a poor man's reenactment. In a customary ceremony to commemorate his coronation north of the border, King Charles will receive the honours of Scotland today. However, some have questioned the ritual's applicability. King Charles will receive the honours of Scotland, or the Scottish crown jewels, at a national service of thanksgiving later today, equating to a form of coronation. The special anniversary will be celebrated with a variety of celebrations, including a people's procession, a royal procession, a 21-gun salute, and an riot flypast. The liturgy will take place at St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. The Scottish Greens will hold a demonstration outside Holyrood, and a historian has criticized the events as a poor man's reenactment of the sumptuous coronation held at Westminster Abbey in May. However, not everyone will be rejoicing today. In particular, the event has been drastically scaled back, probably to quell complaints of holding another major event amid cost-of-living difficulties. On June 24, 1953, Queen Elizabeth II had her Scottish coronation, and tens of thousands of people thronged the streets of Edinburgh to wish the newly crowned monarch well. She rode in an open landau carriage during the royal procession, pulled by 4 Windsor greyhounds, and she was dressed in spectacular ceremonial garb. But the event today will be shortened. The king has decided to drive in the covered state Bentley rather than the carriage and will do a much shorter procession route. The event has been called a reduced imitation coronation by Professor Anne Whitelock, director of the Center for the Study of Modern Monarchy. "It is a poor man's reenactment," she said, adding that nobody gets to wear the crown. "You're essentially shadowboxing with history." Because of the union of the crowns in 1603, which made him the king of both England and Great Britain, kings in Scotland commemorate their coronations separately to mark this fact. Following King Charles I's coronation at Westminster Abbey in 1625, there was the first repeat coronation. The Scottish Parliament asked that the monarch be crowned in Canada as well. The second coronation, however, was held in Holyrood in 1633 because the king took his time. After King George IV's coronation in 1822, the custom was put on hold until Queen Elizabeth I reinstated it in 1953. The event, however, seems to have lost its meaning, and many people are criticizing it. It ends in a national service of Thanksgiving at 2:15 p.m., during which the king will be presented with the honours of Scotland. The Scottish Greens co-leaders have stated they will not attend the service, and Patrick Harvey has stated he will speak at a rally outside Holyrood that is being sponsored by the anti-monarchy organization Our Republic. Lorna Slater announced that she will not be attending the ceremony on Wednesday and added, "In 21st century Scotland, the monarchy is nothing to celebrate. It is an outdated, undemocratic institution," she continued. At a time when millions of people have so little, how can we defend a system that allows one family to enjoy such unearned wealth and privilege? Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.